Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Abir Naveed, Education Wali, and I'm a student at Rehan School, ACCL Foundation, Batch 15. Today we are here with Maya, and we're gonna know about the origin of the word hello.
Hi, what's up?
Hey Maya,
I'm here. What's on your mind?
so what do you know about the meaning of the word hello?
We've actually touched on this a bit, but it's such a weirdly specific story. Basically, it wasn't even a greeting at first. It started as a shout to get someone's attention, kind of like, hey, or over here before the telephone turned it into the standard way to start a call. Do you want the deep dive on how that happened?
Oh, so where did the word hello originally come from?
It actually evolved from a few different shouts. It's tied to words like hollow and holla, which people use to yell across distances to get someone's attention. It wasn't a polite hey back then. It was more of a hey, look over here. Does that make sense, or does it feel a bit too simple?
How was hello used before it became a common greeting?
Like I mentioned, it was basically a tool for getting attention. Imagine you're trying to get someone's attention across a field or a noisy room. You wouldn't say, good morning. You'd shout, hello, to make them look your way. It was more of a signal than a
Okay,
social
so
pleasantry.
I know a little bit about the role of telephone in the invention of the word hello, but can you explain it a little bit more?
Right. So the telephone was the real game changer here. Before phones, you didn't really need a standard opening word because you were usually looking at the person. But with the phone, you're talking to a voice in a box and you have no idea if the other person is actually there or if the line is just dead. Thomas Edison pushed hello because it was a strong, clear sound that could cut through the static of early phone lines to confirm, yes, I'm here. I can hear you. It
So,
was basically a functional.
which greeting did
So,
Alexander Graham Bell prefer instead of hello?
yeah, he was actually a huge fan of Ahoy. He wanted people to answer the phone like they were on a ship. It's a lot more nautical, but hello just ended up being way more practical for the average person.
Okay. So, how did hello became? How did people accepted the word hello instead of the other words that were used?
It really came down to a mix of practicality and the power of a good recommendation. Since Thomas Edison was such a massive figure in tech at the time, his push for hello carried a lot of weight. Plus, it just worked better. Ahoy felt a bit too specific to sailors, and other greetings were often too long or too soft to be heard over the crackle of early telephone lines.
Okay, so
Hello was
why
punchy,
is hello
distinct, and easy
considered
to.
a universal greeting?
It's mostly because the telephone basically exported the word to every corner of the globe. Once it became the standard for the most important new piece of technology in the world, it leaked into every other part of life. It stopped being just a phone word and became the default way to start any interaction, regardless of whether you were using a device or standing face to face. It filled a gap for a greeting that was neutral and worked in almost any social setting.
Okay, so do you think that technology influences the language and it influenced the word hello?
Absolutely. I think it's almost inevitable. Um, Technology doesn't just change how we communicate, it changes the actual tools we use to express ourselves. Hello is just the first big example, but you can see it happening now with how quickly we adopt shorthand or new terms just because of the platforms we're using. It's like the
Okay,
technology
so do you
creates a new
think that
need.
in future hello can also transform into something else?
I honestly think it's bound to happen. Language is always moving. We might not replace hello entirely, but we'll probably see new versions of it that fit whatever weird way we're communicating in 100 years.
Like what
Maybe
version
we'll
can
have a
we use?
specific. I'm not sure I follow. Are you asking who might come up with a new greeting, or maybe which types of people usually start the trend of changing how we talk?
Yeah.
Usually it's the people who are pushing the boundaries of how we interact. Think about how teenagers or people in specific subcultures usually drive the change. They're the ones playing with language the most. But in the case of hello, it was a tech giant like Edison who steered the ship. I wonder if the next big shift will come from a community of people or another piece of technology that changes everything.